Hello everyone, I'm Sebastian Y, and this is Foundations of Economics. In this video, I'm going to solve this exercise on consumer and producer surplus. The easiest way to calculate consumer and producer surplus is to draw the graph, so that is what we are going to do first. I'm going to start out with our demand curve right here. To graph the demand curve, we need to figure out what the intercepts are going to be. For the quantity intercept, we are going to plug 0 in for the price. So we get QD equals 140 minus 2 times 0. That's going to just cancel out, so we'll get 140. That's going to be our quantity intercept. For our price intercept, we're going to plug 0 in for the quantity and calculate 140 minus 2p. Add 2p to both sides and divide by 2 to get 70. That's going to be this point right here. This means our demand curve will be a straight line in between these two. Remember to label with a D. Next, we are going to draw the supply curve. First thing we want to do for the supply curve is figure out our price axis intercept. So we're going to put 0 in for quantity supplied, negative 60 plus 3p, and then solve for p. I'll add 60 to both sides, divide by 3 to get 20. It's going to be right here. Supply curves are upward sloping, and we can see that the slope here is 3. This means that every increase in price accompanies an increase of 3 in the quantity. So if we were to go up by 10, we would need to go over by 30, and if we were to go up by 20, we would go over by 60, and so we can see that 60 and 40 needs to be on this curve. We can then just draw this in. Label that with an S. Next, we need to determine the equilibrium price and quantity, which we can already see here is 40 and 60. However, we can also show this with algebra. To do that, we need to set our quantity supplied, negative 60 plus 3p, equal to our quantity demanded, which is 140 minus 2p, and then solve for p. Adding 2p to both sides, I get 5p over here, cancels out on the right. Add 60 to both sides, I get 200 over here. Divide both sides by 5 is going to give me p equals 200 over 5, which is 40. And that lines up perfectly with the price we have on our graph. Plug this 40 into either of our supply or demand functions to get the quantity. Let's do the demand function. So we get quantity equals 140 minus 2 times 40, which is going to be 60, just like we see here. So we've confirmed what we see on the graph with the algebra. Next, we need to calculate the consumer surplus. On the graph, this is going to be the triangle that is below the demand curve and above the price. We'll draw that in right here. This is going to be our consumer surplus. To calculate that, we use the area of the triangle, which is base of 60 times a height of 70 minus 40, and then all of that divided by 2. On the top, we have 60 times 30, all that divided by 2. That's going to come out to 900. Next, we'll calculate the producer surplus, which is the triangle above the supply curve and below the price. So it's going to be this one right here. Again, this is a triangle, so we have a base of 60, a height of 40 minus 20. Divide that by 2. We get 60 times 20 over 2, which is going to be 600. Last thing we need to do is calculate the total surplus. That's going to be the sum of the consumer surplus and producer surplus. So 900 plus 600 is 1500. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.